Recently, I played through Dying Light with the help of some friends and... sorry. I got bit by an insane guy today and my arm really aches. The following is a completely accurate summary of the campaign. Trust me. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. The game begins... well, actually, quick side note. This game is 4-player co-op, but the game doesn't begin in 4-player co-op, and you have to go through a 40-minute intro sequence before you can play with other friends. Anyways, the game begins in the back of a cargo plane with the main character whose name is so boring I literally had to Google it for the script because I forgot what it was. Being briefed about the guy we're being dropped in to find because he's got some file containing celebrity nudes and we have to prevent the second coming of the fappening. The city's being jammed to prevent the guy from leaking the information, but we've got a radio that can work through the jamming frequency with the power of because the plot says so, and could the game not have waited to present this information in a less immediate dump? This is all pretty pertinent information that I'd wager most people forget immediately because there's a skydiving sequence going on right now. We parachute down into Los Angeles in 2021 and get stuck on seemingly nothing, which is our first indicator that this guy's actually an idiot and not a professional by any stretch of the word. We're ganged up on by members of the local homeowners association because our parachute clashes with the predetermined aesthetic, so they beat us up until we shoot one of them, which causes a horde of walkers to run over and bite us. But luckily we're wearing Kevlar clothing over our arms and... wait, we're not? Really? They sent this guy into a zombie outbreak which they knew was happening, and he's not wearing protective clothing to prevent infection? Okay. Guy who dies 30 seconds after he shows up saves us from a Zed head, and a woman helps him drag us off the street. But unfortunately for Guy who dies 30 seconds after he shows up, we've officially reached the 30-second mark, so he gets overrun by biters and dies. Our eyes slowly zoom in on the woman as we pass out, and we wake up in a hotel and scare off some kids that were just allowed to wander unsupervised into a room with a guy who could have turned into an undead, because even in the zombie apocalypse, parents are just as negligent as they've always been. We meet up with a man and introduce ourselves as Crane 31, which I guess means that the GRE has been sending in Crane clones for a while now because they're all too fucking stupid to get the job done. A man tells us to go talk to the boss, so we walk upstairs to a balcony and meet with Black Lives Matter kid, who we immediately rub the wrong way because both of us are assholes and he tells us to fuck off to the 13th floor, which has to be a joke, right? Hotels don't have 13th floors. We head down to the floor that doesn't exist and contact the graduate record examinations, and I'm not really sure what standardized testing has to do with the zombie apocalypse, but no, actually that makes total sense. Everyone I know that had to study for standardized tests always looked like a zombie for the days leading up to it. The GRE tells us to stop dicking around and we let them know that we got bit, but are interrupted by a guy screaming, so we save him from a Zack and immediately run off after being told to stay put and do some looting and come back to apply a dryer sheet to the guy's arm, but that's okay, he'll be fine. We head back upstairs to meet with BLM Kid and obvious love interest, who are arguing about exploding some munchers and why is she wearing full makeup in the middle of a zombie apocalypse? According to my sister, this would take a normal person about 45 minutes to put on every day. Is she really wasting 3/4 of an hour every day glowing up? BLM Kid tells us to put on some pants and I get dressed up like Agent 47, because at the rate that I die in this game, we're sure to reach Crane Clone number 47 in no time. We meet back up with BLM Kid on a crane and he commits suicide, but that's okay, he recovers. So we do a 360 no-scope and join him at the bottom. We head back over the crane but get interrupted by a seizure and... but that's okay, it's just normal side effects of getting infected. BLM Kid tells us to go visit Dr. Zed Leplin, and we meet up with 25 Cent, who gives us a free table leg. Gee, thanks. A guard unlocks the door for us to go outside, and that's the last time these doors are ever closed for the remainder of the game. We meet up with Dr. Leplin, and he lets us know that he might be able to find a cure for the zombie infection, but, BLM Kid tells us to go talk to the guy who sounds like Discount Eric Andre, and he tells us to go commit suicide, so we head off to do some boring menial tasks until sunset. We contact the GRE and let them know about Dr. Leplin, and they tell us to spy on him, but the celebrity nudes are still our top priority. The electricity isn't turning on, so we go to check what's wrong and are interrupted by an essential worker. After escaping him, I David Cage QuickTime a panel open and turn on the power. We head back to a no-no square for the night. A blobby boy scares us but then fucks off, so we tell on him. And now, 40 minutes into the game, I can finally play co-op. Except Austin's still not done with the intro on his end, so he'll catch up later. Great game design. Discount Eric Andre lets us know that the real boss's mission failed, so we head back to the tower to point and laugh at him for being a loser. We call the GRE to let them know that we're going to meet with the tower leader, and they tell us to call them back after the meeting so we know if it's the guy they're looking for, and that brave conversation feels like kind of a waste of time to me. Hey boss, I may or may not have important information soon. Okay, clone, call us back when you may or may not have important information. Okay, bye, love you. Turns out the leader is just some dude bro who got the shit kicked out of him by the homeowners association as well, so we volunteer to take the mission for him. The nurse lets us know that dude bro has brain damage now and that we can get some anti-seizure medicine to keep him from dying, but joke's on you game, that's a side quest, which means we're going to ignore it. It ends up not mattering anyways, there's absolutely no consequences for not getting the medicine, and dude bro is just fine for the rest of the game. We contact the GRE and let them know that dude bro isn't their man, but a local warlord named And Beans might be, and we're headed to pick up some recreational drugs, so they tell us to call them back when we get it. Now that Austin finished his intro, Craint finally caught up, so we kick the shit out of some crawlers $2 while we search for the airdrop. Turns out it's empty, so we head off to a fresh one, but some HOA members got to it first, so we head off to the third one, which actually has something in it because every single game has to adhere to the rule of 3. We call the GRE about our drugs and they tell us to destroy all of it, and Crane 31 starts arguing about the unethical choices they're asking him to make because apparently the GRE decided to send in a guy with a conscience instead of a professional that would have followed orders, no questions asked. We take a vial for ourselves and destroy the rest, but some zombies that are easily evaporated at normal temperatures show up and chase us, and I get killed. Crane 32 reports back and everyone is arguing about who's going to buy drugs from And Beans, so we volunteer to do that as well. We meet up with And Beans, but he's busy cutting someone's hand off, so we wait patiently for him to finish and ask him for some drugs. A member of the HOA points us in the direction of the quest giver because apparently we can't just get given the quest in this cutscene, so we talk to Cream and he sends us to climb a Ubisoft tower. We call the GRE and let them know that And Beans is definitely their guy, so they tell us to continue being his fetch monkey until we can get our hands on the file. I climb up the Ubisoft tower, but I actually have to turn on the power at the bottom first, so I wait for Crane to get that done. But you're not allowed to do anything in this game without your partner being right fucking next to you, so I'm forced to fast travel down to the bottom again. We're jumped by an incel that throws up on us, so I head back up the tower. But the antenna's power still isn't on, so I have to go down again. After Crane turns on the power, now we can go up the Ubisoft tower properly. But it can't be turned on, so that was a huge waste of time. Luckily, the second Ubisoft tower's power is already on, so I climb my way up and fall off and die. So Crane 33 climbs up to turn the power on and falls off and dies in the same exact place. Crane 34 turns on the power's transmitter, and we superhuman leap our way down a zipline. And Beans denies us the drugs and sends us on another fetch quest. Actually, he sends us back to Cream, who gives us another fetch quest, because this totally needed to be 2 steps instead of just 1, and Cream sends us off to make collection payments. We call the GRE to tattle on And Beans again, but they tell us to stop being a bitch and just continue being his fetch monkey. So we head off to collect money from Jafar, who must have hit some really hard times after being defeated by Aladdin, because he looks terrible. After we ran so far away, we're interrupted by a guy who ate a little too much Taco Bell and managed to survive, so we head to the fishing village to collect the OnlyFans tribute money for And Beans. We clear out the village with absolutely no problems whatsoever. Ow, that was a bloated guy. Hello.
Hi. It's fine. Have no fear.
Oh. Yep, me too.
I have no working weapons. I need to equip some. I think that's all I have.
Oh, I died.
Oh.
Oops.
Hey friend, over here.
Oh, what? It spawned me way back here. Where the fuck am I? Can I fast travel to you? Yeah, I did. I gotta get. And Crane 35 collects the money from the villagers. On our way back, we're told to locate some HOA members that disappeared, but they're all dead, and Crane 35 gets spooked by,
Wait, holy shit!
Why'd you yell holy shit?
What?
What?
What are we holy shitting about? Something, and we blow up a guy living on top of a gas station. We deliver the money and go talk to And Beans to get our drugs, but surprise, he lied to us about our reward, so he gives us 5 vials of drugs and shoots a lackey because this game really wants him to be Voss from Far Cry 3, but he's not even close. We call the GRE to whine about And Beans some more, and they tell us to quit being a bitch again and just do it. So Crane 35 starts bitching at them, and why did the GRE hire this guy? He's clearly incapable of getting the job done by any means necessary. We deliver the drugs to obvious love interest and talk to Dubro about his obvious brain damage, so he whines about parkour and we give him a pep talk and promise to talk to And Beans again. We find BLM Kid on the roof and he's super drunk, but the cans he's drinking out of aren't even open, so he's clearly faking it. He lets us know that we can find some explosives to blow up a zombie nest, and he shares his own sob story, because the only thing less interesting than one sob story is 2 back-to-back sob stories. We contact the GRE to complain some more and end up just bitching at each other instead of having a productive conversation. Obvious love interest lets us know that And Beans borrowed a school to dump his shit in, so we head off to get our hands on his fat dump. We meet up with obvious love interest, but she almost shoots us in the face, and we sneak over to the school and use our adjustable eyeballs to zoom in on the action. We get lost trying to find the entrance to the school, and then get lost again running around inside the school and make our way to the basement with absolutely no problems whatsoever. Are you kidding me?
Oh.
he like stunned me. I couldn't do anything. Ow! What the fuck? Oh no, he's just tripped or something like that.
What?
What the fuck exploded?
A boom.
Where did he come from?
Just somewhere where I got exploded from.
Alright, come on, Austin.
That's
Homeless
horrific.
people.
Okay.
Crane 37 opens a box full of explosives, but more HOA members arrive, so we fight our way out, while obvious love interest somehow takes a crate full of explosives back to the tower all by herself. We open the door to go outside, but scare a guy who's suffering from the effects of not drinking water on a regular basis. Remember to drink your water, kids. BLM Kid lets us know that now that we've got explosives, we can go with his plan of blowing up some zombies, and we tell him that we'll do it ourselves. We meet up with Dr. Leplin again and describe the Blobby Boy, and he lets us know that they're named after the popular assault weapon that the Imperium of Man uses. There, 40k fans, I made a fucking 40k reference, now leave me alone. Dr. Leplin asks us to get him a pound of flesh, and we spend a stupid amount of time hunting one down because we get spawn camped by those evaporating zombies from earlier. Fighting zombies is really fucking derpy, oh my god.
Going back inside. Yeah, go back inside.
Oh no, whatever shall we do?
Wait, we don't have the UV light yet?
Ah! No, the UV light's in the...
Oh, yeah.
This hallway over here.
Again?
Can you grab me? Thank you. Ow!
Wait, did you just kill me?
Did I just kill you?
Did you just throw a grenade?
Yeah.
You just killed me. You just took me from 80 health down to 18 and then killed me.
Hang on, I'm gonna throw a grenade.
Nice nade.
Nice.
He's dead. Crane 39 takes down a bolter immediately after getting to it, and we head back to Dr. Leplin to test it, and it works. But they can't produce the cure without the data being at the proper lab, so we volunteer to send it ourselves. BLM Kid went off to blow up the zombie nest on his own, and we struggle our way to him, but everyone's dead when we get there. BLM Kid wasn't with the corpses, so we search another likely spot. Crane 40 finds BLM Kid hiding in a train car, but he's bleeding and lies to us that he cut himself, but come on, game, no one's fooled. We're gonna run off, and he's gonna be a zombie when we get back. We borrow the IED that BLM Kid knows how to make because this is the oh god, I can't make that joke. So we lock him in the train car and swim off to the nest. We plant the bomb and escape the nest to watch it explode, but then when we get back to BLM Kid, he's a zombie! Surprise! But literally no one is surprised, game. We snap his neck and Crane 40 has a mental breakdown about the kid he's known for like 2 days, which again makes me wonder why the GRE would pick someone who's got so much empathy for people. We let Dude Bro know that BLM Kid is dead, but obvious love interest overhears us and runs off. But conveniently, the HOA arrives at this exact moment to take Dr. Leplin away, because his trailer clashes with the predetermined aesthetic, so we jump out the window to save him.
That's cool, you can set him on fire.
This guy's got a gun, and he just instantly killed me. A very casually dying guy lets Crane 41 know that they've already took Dr. Leplin away, so we head off to find him. We tell Dude Bro that the HOA is shut down, so he tells us to find an alternative way in like we couldn't have fucking figured that out on our own, and we climb to the rooftop. What the fuck?
This game is dumb as hell, dude.
I'm kicking a zombie, Austin. It's making the same sound. Like, fall off the fucking roof already. Jesus. Where there's a convenient roof access hatch that's unlocked. We contact the GRE to ask for some support, but they've been replaced by a bureaucrat, and we make a deal that they'll give us 48 hours to check on Dr. Leplin's research before they start bombing the place, and this is probably the most unrealistic part of the game. A bureaucrat actually giving someone the benefit of the doubt and listening to reason? I can only have so much suspension of disbelief, game. Also, the 48 hours is completely arbitrary. You can take your sweet-ass time because this isn't Dead Rising. There's no time limit. We David Cage our way into an elevator shaft. I love having to mash a button. Austin, you fucking idiot.
Just taking that.
All I heard was...
Oh.
Wait, how did you go down?
You can zipline on the thing!
That's what I did, I went right through it!
And murder our way downstairs, but no one's around, so we head to the basement and murder everyone there too. And this part is almost entirely just shooting, but this game's shooting mechanics are fucking awful. Oh fuck!
I knew that was going to happen! I was just thinking it, and it manifested!
We save Dr. Leplin from the closet, and And Beans somehow sneaks up on us in like 2 seconds, and he knocks us out to invite us to a battle royale. We get a punch off on And Beans, so he shoots the guards because this game really, really wants him to be Voss from Far Cry 3, but he's still not even close. If you thought the shooting sequence from just then was boring and lame, we're now forced to fight a horde of geeks with just whatever's lying around because all of our cool items were confiscated from us, and it's just as tedious and boring as it sounds. And Beans taunts us again and drops in a big zombie that we struggle to fight because the game doesn't really make it clear what the best way to deal with him is, and we spend way too long figuring it out. Crane 42 beats the big zombie and we finish off the rest of them and have another seizure. And Beans drops us a medkit and reveals that he knows we work for the GRE, except didn't he make that obvious the first time he met us? He comes down to monologue at us and leaks the celebrity news, but reveals that the GRE was planning on keeping the news for themselves to blackmail the celebrities, so this was actually the lesser of two evils? We do some mall ninja shit on the guards and cut And Beans' hands off, but Dr. Leplin got stabbed in the chest and dies. And Beans cauterizes a wound with a torch, somehow, and orders the guards to shoot us while we're not moving on an itty-bitty platform, but we're wearing plot armor and can't be killed by bullets. We run away, and have another seizure. All the way back to Dude Bro. This part's really fucking annoying because we're not allowed to sprint. We wake up at the pier because Dude Bro dragged us all the way there and head off to the second open world area to do the second half of the game. Good lord, we're only halfway done? That did not work.
Ow.
Any chance you're nearby?
I'm getting
No.
beaten by laggy zombies.
Okay. We meet up with Jank, yes, that's his actual name in game, even though it's spelled C-E-N-K, and he agrees to take us to the next area. We meet up with a gangsta who we have to follow through a tunnel who will literally stop moving if you get too far away from him, and he walks at a snail's pace. Great game design. We swim through some zombie water, and I'm forced to do some excessively slow parkour while Crank just ziplines through, because even though we've been playing this game for over 4 hours, I still haven't unlocked the zipline for myself.
Oh my god.
Where's the
Where do you go now? Oh no.
How do I
How do you get up there?
How do I get up there? I'm gonna die! Was this not the right way? Oh, it wasn't. Oh,
Oh no.
No!
Oh no.
Go on! Without me! Turns out our tour guide betrayed us and sold us out to And Beans, and that means more really terrible gunfights. Hooray!
Will save me.
You have no gauze.
Will save me. Will.
I'm dead.
Yeah.
We make it to the rich part of town and contact Donald Glover's character from Community, and then promptly commit suicide on our way to meet them.
I hear you. What's going on? When
Oh,
Sector
shit.
Zero is Jade with you?
Not so assassin-like though.
Oh, I wanted the grappling hook down and it didn't let me.
Austin did the same thing. We go inside a tower and meet Rando and Two-Face, who apparently also takes the time to do her makeup every day, but I guess it would only take her half the time, huh? Two-Face lets us contact obvious love interest, and we spill the beans about why we're in Los Angeles, and she rightly reacts pretty pissed. So Two-Face lets us know where she's hiding, and we set off to stalk her. We talk to a librarian to see if they know where obvious love interest is, and they don't. But Two-Face contacts us to tell us that they've got something important to show us instead of just telling us over the radio, so we head back to watch. The news is reporting that the city is going to get firebombed, which we already knew was going to happen, and how are we getting internet? The jamming signal is still going on, and this next mission is literally heading out to create a bomb signal to show the world that the people are still alive in here, but we have internet connection, obviously. Why can't we use that to send a message? Okay. We head inside some tunnels to find a one-eyed green guy, and Crane has a seizure. Mike lets us know that he's out here risking his life to impress Two-Face, but I hate to break it to you, kid. Women aren't punch cards. You don't just earn sex from them by doing a certain amount of good deeds. We take a sketchy elevator to the 10th floor, but it gets stuck on the 5th, so we have another and superhuman leap our way up the elevator shaft. Crane 45 tries his hand at cooking, and we get interrupted by a screaming child, so we shoot it in the head. Crane tries his hand at cooking, and Mike gets killed because he's useless, and we David Cage our way back downstairs to grab the food delivery device. We press the button on the food delivery device, and oh my god, those were explosives! The military flies in to destroy our sad face, and that feels more like exactly what bureaucrats would do in a situation like this. They've already made up their mind and will destroy any evidence that points to the opposite of their decision. Two-Face lets us know that Rando figured out a way to get through the citywide jamming, so obvious love interest agrees to meet and talk talk to us. We head to obvious love interest's house, but she's been kidnapped by And Beans, so we head off to a guy who can help get us inside. Turns out the guy was expecting a new babysitter, so we agree that maybe we can figure out his problem for him after we go to the museum, but joke's on him. That's a side mission and we're not doing any of those. We swim into the museum and have another seizure before catching up to And Beans that we bitch at for a while, so we send some more guys after us so we can have another shooting section because it was so fun the first few times. Seizure.
I got shot twice.
Throwing knives. Oh, I got shot twice as well. Ouch. Okay. Guess I'll die. We come across a haul of sardines and decide to murder every single one of them for all of the loot, so we waste the next 6 minutes doing that. Crane 46 catches up to obvious love interest and she says she's fine, but she's clearly been bit on the ankle. And Beans monologues at us for a while before sicking a bunch of bleeders on us. And obvious love interest reveals that she was bitten on the leg, but like, we can clearly see that already, it's right there. We wander around for a little while very slowly because we're not allowed to run, and go through a drug sequence because this game really wants to be Far Cry 3. I'm more distracted by the fact that every time Jade teleports it makes the Banshee Boost sound from Halo, because it's just a stock sound effect.
It's too late for me.
We hallucinate obvious love interest as a zombie, but she's actually still fine and she injects us with the drugs we need to snap out of it, and realize that we were actually choking her to death. Oops. Obvious love interest does some malnourished shit on some guys and starts eating them, so we snap her neck just like your little brother. And Beans sends his lackey to kill us, and it's mostly just annoying because of how foggy this area gets. After killing the lackey, Crane shows off his upper body strength, and we head off to meet up with Two-Face to see about getting through the radar jamming. We enter some sewers and break a baby's neck before getting to my least favorite part of this game. If you've got the grappling hook, this is no problem. If you don't, you have to go through extra slow parkour that's really iffy, and you have to start all over if you fail. Seriously? Go. Move, you useless piece of shit! Fuck you! Fuck you! I hate this. We find the radar tower and Rando lets us know that we have to search for a keycard. So Crankton and I split up to check both places, but it didn't really matter anyways because Austin took so long searching his area that I had to head over there anyways. After grabbing the keycard, we head over to the broadcast tower and David caged several lockers until we find the power, but I get thrown backwards by the elevator into a pool of burning oil and die. There's an elevator. Ow.
Oh.
I fell. It threw me into the fire! It killed me!
Wait, where are you? Where is your corpse?
It killed me straight up. Like,
it just
killed. That's so stupid. What? We climb our way to the tower and turn it off and on again, and manage to stop the jets at the absolute last minute because that's the only way these things are allowed to happen in these kinds of games. The GRE contacts us again. How? I thought the DoD replaced them. Are they still allowed to just hang around all their radio equipment? Whatever. The GRE lets Crane 47 know that if he can get his hands on Dr. Leplin's research, that they'll bring in an extraction chopper for us, so we call them an asshole but agree to their terms anyways. And now, 1 hour before the end of the game, I finally have the grappling hook. Now getting around the terrain won't be such a huge slog. We head to Dr. Left Epper to give him Dr. Leplin's research, and take an elevator to a really annoying labyrinth sequence that took us 15 minutes. We give Dr. Depper the samples, and I guess the voice actor here is just a really weird choice, because he seems like the kind of guy that would betray us, but he never does. We contact the GRE, but it's actually Anna Beans, who spends the next 2 minutes monologuing at us over the radio, because the only thing less interesting than a 2-minute monologue is a 2-minute monologue where you're not even looking at the guy doing it. He invites us back to his tower, so we head off to make him shut the fuck up. And now, less than 40 minutes after I unlock the grappling hook, I won't be able to use it from this point on. Also, this game's finale can only be played in single player, so say goodbye to any of your friends you were playing with because the last half hour of this game is all on your own. Why would you design a game that has 4-player co-op this way? We have another seizure and bitch at And Beans. I run through a sequence with absolutely no problems whatsoever. Delicious.
It looked like chili.
Free me, child. I'm gonna die. Cool.
You great. Okay.
Yeah. I think that was not supposed to happen? I'm really confused, because it, like, stopped me suddenly. I have to go all the way through it again? Are you shitting me?
Oh, man.
It forcibly threw me downward. That's dumb as fuck. Wow, cool. Love it. Great.
This is so bad. I think you're mashing spacebar on the other one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You have to.
Yeah. I thought I could make it across that way, but it didn't work. So that one was my bad.
Nice.
Dumbass. It just died. Crane 54 gets hit by a rocket launcher and I take an elevator to a higher floor, but And Beans doesn't use the rockets to try and stop me. Okay. I find Cream bleeding out and he warns us about some mines, so I head off another way instead. I climb up a ridiculous amount of ladders. Climb up the ladder. Gotta climb up another ladder. Gotta ignore the explosions. Gotta climb up the ladder. Gotta climb up a third ladder. But And Beans has decided to use his rocket launcher again, and I get across with absolutely no problems whatsoever.
Expelled?
Oh, okay.
That missile like didn't even touch you. You're just like, eh. What? Really? Seriously? You're just getting directly hit
What
by
am
a
I
missile.
supposed to do? Do I jump? What do I jump for? What? What am I supposed to do? I'm so confused.
Do we run across it first, or do we wait? I think you just yeet yourself right as the missile hits. Go, 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 go,
Wait,
go,
I got
go,
it
go.
this time.
Oh,
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Why didn't
Yeah,
it do that the past two times?
I don't know, dude. That was weird.
Crane 57 makes it across and we do some really slow parkour until I fall off. Crane 58 makes it to And Beans and he threatens to drop the research, and I had my hands off my keyboard at this point, so I just get stabbed. Turns out, even if you do get the David Cage QuickTime event, getting stabbed is inevitable, so why have it at all? I die to another QuickTime event and Crane 60 decides not to kill And Beans, so we crawl over to the information disk, but surprise, we get pushed off by And Beans because Crane's a fucking idiot and didn't kill him. Austin calls the twist 40 seconds before it happens, and it's just as fucking stupid as you'd expect.
We're gonna take out the knife and throw it at him.
Yeah, we're gonna hand him the disc and then stab him with the knife. You're right. That's so
Yeah.
stupid, but yeah. This is
I
so
wonder what we do now.
stupid. What a surprise! No one
Yeah.
could have seen that coming.
For a decision, asshole!
And we're still able to hold on with one hand that we've been stabbed in the shoulder. What a stupid ending!
Yeah.
Holy shit! Like,
That was a
we knew
really
going
poor
into
quality
this
ending.
the story wasn't good. I didn't realize the story was so fucking bad. Crane decides he's not going to leave with the helicopter and tells the GRE to fuck off so then it'll just blow up the city after he leaves. And Dr. Deppard says he's certain that a cure is inevitable. But, game over. Special thanks to my patrons Zaniri, Game Wilder, Lord Dingro, KBG, Thonking Quacker, Laura, Tucker is Lit, and Robert Yeneman. If you want to support the channel, you'll get your own custom avatar that'll go at the end of the videos you help support that month.